Just looking at the time, just to be mindful, let's go ahead and get started. I see that we have some folks with us in the room, so thank you so much. Thanks again for tuning in today. To learn more about our newest offering for 2022, 4 ways to elevate your social media presence in partnership with our friends at Sparkspace Creative. My name is Fernando Alvarenga, and I'm with the Region 9 Head Start Association. And I just wanted to let you know that this offering is brought to you in efforts to maximize your agency's social media impact, especially on the topics of staff recruitment, child enrollment, and Head Start Pride. This effort is also aimed at driving some attention on the importance of learning this new medium. Our ultimate goal here at the Region 9 Head Start Association is to elevate the work that our community does, and social media is a medium that allows that, especially during these pandemic times. We are so proud of our partnership with Sparkspace Creative, an organization who is committed to support the great work our community does. Thanks again for tuning in, and now I'll pass it along to my colleague Alejandra to speak a bit more on the offering. Go ahead, Alejandra, take it over.
Thank you, Fernando. My name is Alejandra Lozano, and I am the Program Manager for Membership Engagement here at Region 9 Head Start Association. And I just wanted to add that this is a great offering that is in place to offer help elevating your social media impact. The training and resources will help your agency increase awareness, build engagement with professional design art and text. This is all to ensure to gain followers and maximize your promotions across social media platforms. We are thrilled to see you put it into practice and elevate the way that you communicate with your Head Start community. And without further ado, I will introduce Melissa Hook with Sparkspace Creative.
Thank you, Alejandra and Fernando. I am Melissa Hook. I do social media and marketing for Sparkspace Creative. And with us on the call today is our owner and founder, R9HSA. So we've been working with Fernando and Ed and Alejandro and the team to kind of come up with this plan for a few months now. And it's exciting. And we're really happy to have a solid plan in place and get really ready to kind of kick off. And it's finally here, and it's the new year, so it seems perfect. So really quickly, I'm going to share my screen. You probably have all seen this, but just as a quick refresher reminder, these are the offerings. This is straight on the Region 9 website. But these are the offerings that are available to you, and you can read all about them on the website here under the Training West section. So we've got these training courses, which we're going to be talking about a little bit today. The social media calendar subscription, which Fernando is sending out, I believe, today to those who have already subscribed. So it's a 6-month subscription to this content calendar we've created, which I'll show you an actual example of that later. And then toolkits, which I'll show you as well later, but we've got 3 beautiful toolkits that one of our designers created graphics for. And we've got suggested post text to make it really easy for you just to kind of plug and chug your social media. And there's a bundle, and all that. The other offer is direct consulting or coaching, we like to call it, for your agency. So if you want to, if you like what you see here, maybe you're part of the sessions, maybe you do the toolkits, but maybe you're thinking, yeah, but we really need like a full-on like marketing campaign, or we really want to, find the right freebie giveaway item to give to, potential families or something like that, whatever it may be. And that's just tip of the iceberg, but we can talk to you about strategy. We can talk to you about planning. We can talk to you about ideas for promotional items. We can talk to you about your annual report. We can talk to you about so many different things. So, and that would be, working with us directly to kind of come up with the best, thing to meet your needs. So there's a video you can watch that kind of introduces us, talks a little bit about Sparkspace and all of that. And you can sign up, and we hope that you'll join us if you're not already signed up for one or all of the different offerings. We have a special guest with us today, and I really appreciate you being here with us today. I'm going to introduce Julie Stone. She is the Interim Executive Director for the Ohio Head Start Association, And she is very busy today, so we're gonna make it short and sweet, but she just wanted to kind of, after some persuading, she wanted to talk a little bit about the relationship that she has with us as Sparkspace and kind of some of the experiences that she's had. So you're not just hearing us yammer on about how wonderful we are. We've got somebody that can kind of give you a little bit of insight from your perspective, because she is a partner of ours and that's what you will be essentially. So hi, Julie, thanks for being here.
Well, I'm happy to be here. You didn't have to persuade me that much.
Okay, good.
We do it.
Good to hear.
I love the work that we're doing together, so I'm really happy to talk about it. I'm with the Ohio Head Start Association. We are a one-state Head Start association. There are 60 Head Start providers in Ohio, and they serve over 33,000 slots. So we first found out about Spark Creative when we saw some work that they had done for a very large Head Start provider here in the Dayton area. And we were just really impressed with the quality of it, the feel of it. And most importantly, we knew that if we worked with them, we wouldn't have to do a lot of legwork of helping them understand Head Start, because it was really apparent from the work that they were doing with the local program that they really got it. So we reached out to them and started thinking of ways that we could work together. Do you want me to go into kind of what our initial work was? No.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you all experienced the same thing on your side of the country, that spring of last year, programs really started to struggle with enrolling families and anticipating that they were going to have a lot of difficulty doing that for the fall program year. I think COVID made it difficult to maintain relationships with families, but it made it really difficult to initiate relationships. So we were looking for any way we could to support them in reaching out in their communities, and came up with the idea of a social media toolkit along with the help with Mel and Aaron. What I was really impressed with was how much they worked with us to lean into the needs of our particular programs and what they wanted, focusing on things. Yeah, Mel has it pulled up there. We focused on things like children with differing needs, the health and safety of our environments, early Head Start and home-based services. So it was very, very customized. And I love that this has continued to evolve with work that you guys have done with other states and working your way across the country. Again, it's, and I've heard it from other states that you've worked with, how much you're able to accommodate the uniqueness. And that's something that's so important in Head Start, that we can really reflect our communities and reach out to them in a way that will speak to them.
So yeah, this was the Child and Family Recruitment Toolkit. And like Julie mentioned, this is very customized to the needs that the Ohio Head Start Association has. In a couple of the other states we've worked with, namely Minnesota and Wisconsin, they had some other specific needs. So we kind of changed the customization. So when we get into the toolkits a little later that we're offering for Region 9, we'll be able to kind of show you some of the things that we've talked about with like a panel of, some of the agencies to give us a good direction as far as like the customization that you guys have asked for Region 9. And Julie, I don't know if you wanted to talk about this one.
Yep. So that kind of the next step of our work together was programs thought they were really struggling with recruiting staff last summer. Who knew that it would get to where it is now? But so we put together a staff recruitment. We really collaborated a lot. I can tell you the color in here that was the one that we finally arrived at when I'm like, I want to adjust that one a little bit. And so again, just that customization and the listening that you guys do is so helpful and so important. So it was kind of a companion piece to the child recruitment, family recruitment toolkit. We did a similar format as you guys are doing with the social media kind of workshops, seminars, and we got a lot of great feedback from programs that was very helpful. I'm sure it's the same in your region as it is in Ohio, that programs are really at varying degrees of expertise and energy around social media. So it was nice to be able to offer some different kinds of supports for those different levels. Since the work that we initially did together, Spark has really been our go-to for for all of our kind of media needs. We worked with you guys to put together a COVID brochure that we used for our legislative advocacy earlier this fall to tell our COVID story when we did our virtual legislative visits back in September. And again, this idea, the kind of branding and design work that has been very specific to us and to Ohio.
Yes. And please forgive, I have the printer's marks on this version. I apologize for that. That's what you see up in the corner. But this was a print piece that we did for Ohio Head Start, and just an example of some of the things that we've done with Julie and her team.
Yeah, again, I would just reiterate how generous you guys are as well with your time in terms of the one-on-one support and really digging into things. I would encourage the region and then any programs that are working with you to not hesitate to reach out to ask, because you guys are always so willing to provide that one-on-one, and you are so values driven and in line with what we do, and we just really appreciate the partnership. I can stay on for a little bit if anyone who has any questions, since I unfortunately can't stay for the whole call, but I'll be on for about 15 minutes, so I can kind of watch the chat if there's anything that comes up.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea. If anybody has any questions for Julie now, feel free to ask, or you can privately chat with her in the chat as well if you want to ask her anything that you don't want everybody. But thank you so much, Julie, and we love working with you. We actually have also started this week, the brand new beginning of this year, more detailed social media for Ohio Head Start. And so we're actually administering some of their social media, like by posting and things like that. So that's another service that we offer, like with what we're doing with Region 9, with all of you. We're giving you tools that you can use so that you can enhance your social media presence. But in some cases, you may want to take the work away from yourselves, and you can, have us help you out with that. So that's another option, and that's something we're working with Julie on right now too. So that's exciting. So it's good. But that's the thing too, is that and kind of thank you so much for the kind things that you said, Julie. I can definitely give props to Erin, because she's educated me a lot in my time with Sparkspace about early education, specifically Head Start, so many different programs that she has worked with for many, many years with Sparkspace. So, we're not kind of going into this blind or guessing, like, she and Sparkspace are experts at what we do, and we understand you, and we know, we may not know exactly what you need, but we know how to ask you what you need, and we definitely want to help you meet your goals. So hopefully that's what we're doing with Julie, and we definitely are appreciative of that partnership. So if we want to go back to the offerings that we're going to be doing, does anybody have any questions real quick? I can ask that. There is a question in here. I don't know how to answer you, Laura. That might be a good question for Alejandra, about how to become a Head Start, but that's wonderful that you want to do that. So as far as the offerings that we're going to be doing for you guys, starting on the 11th, we're going to have 6 webinars essentially, and they're going to be live and then on demand. So if you can't make every one of them, then we will be able to help you because we'll have them on demand for later. But if you want it live and in person, then we're doing that for you as well, starting on January 11th. And then it's the 11th and the 18th, and then February 1st. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. And then another one later in February, and then March 1st, and then March 17th. So we have 6 total. I hope I just counted 6. And we're giving a little bit of space between a few of them, but we're starting with, the basics of Facebook. And then we're going to go into a little bit more in depth with Facebook, with ads and boosted posts and things like that. And then onto Instagram, and then how to use a QR code. And then, you know, you can read all the descriptions that you want to read, but we're kind of, you know, we have something we think that's for everybody at every level. One of the questions I see in the question is, do you help understand the different media platforms? And yes, the answer is yes. We're going to be going over all of the different social media platforms. And I say all, we probably won't focus too much on Snapchat or TikTok unless you're very interested in TikTok, and we can kind of do that one-on-one. TikTok did break a record over 2021 that they were visited more than Google. So might be something to think about because I think that some of your families and potential employees definitely are on TikTok. So that may be something to think about, but we can talk about that at another time.
Mel?
Yes.
Excuse me, there's a question in the Q&A
Okay.
From Carol Gilman, and Julie, you might be able to help us field this one. Oh, or maybe Fernando just answered it.
I'm not.
Have Ohio programs seen an increase in enrollment because of the messaging, and have they been able to measure this?
So there are individual programs that measure. We don't collect that data, and we've not done a state level. I think that's something that we would like to do down the line to be able to really measure the impact. Yeah, I think that it's a tool in their toolbox, and we as an association are about giving programs all the tools, especially in these times, to have all different kinds of tools to pull out to achieve your goals. So I think that would be a great thing for us to collect it. It's just not something we've dived into just yet.
Well, what I guess I kind of love about the toolkits that just really occurred to me is that, I mean, they're yours. You know, once you download the images and you have the text, you can run it multiple times a year. Like, it's not just limited to a one-time use. So that is something that you always have in your toolbox to pull out if registration's down, or you know, your staff is feeling, I don't know, unhappy. You can pull out your Head Start Pride toolkit and, you know, reignite the fire. I think it's a really long-term asset that you can have in your back pocket.
Yeah, I think that the Pride one is a great idea. I'm excited you guys are doing that. We kind of saw the employment one as something that would kind of boost current staff and just boost the reputation of Head Start as well. But I think diving into that specifically is a great idea.
So I'll move over to the toolkits now, and I can show you what Erin and Julie are talking about. This has not been released yet, but we are hoping to release it this week. We have a couple more additions to make to it, but these are your toolkits. So we're using a platform called Social Press Kit, and it's actually a subscription that Fernando and the team have decided upon because they lay it out so nicely. It looks great on Julie's website. They have their toolkit on their website and it looks awesome. But this is a different way to kind of see it in the interface. So we've got Head Start and Early Head Start social media toolkits here. There's some suggested hashtags, and there's some instructions and kind of, you know, here's what you'll get when you're in there. We'll go over that, you know, when we actually send it out, we'll be able to get it there. So there's 3: Head Start and Early Head Start child recruitment. And here's the employee recruitment. And then the Head Start Pride that they were talking about. So we can take this Head Start Pride and kind of look at it as an example. So you've got Facebook and Twitter and Instagram options. So you can utilize any or all. You can also make it really simple on yourself if you want to do it this way. And literally, if you click post to timeline, you can download the image. So you can right click that and save it just like you do any other image. Then copy the text. You can click copy. So that is a one stop, you know, you don't have to copy it with your cursor. You can copy it with your cursor. And then you can either post right now, but you'd have to log into Facebook, for example, for this one, or you can email this information to yourself to post it later or to use straight from your mobile device. Or if you are saving all of the images in a folder on your computer and then you want to save the copy, just literally copy paste to like a Word document, you can kind of create your own workspace if you want to do that. There is an option to post directly to the social media platform from the toolkit. But if you don't have time to do that right at the moment, or you don't want to do it that way, you can literally do it at your own pace and your own leisure kind of. So one thing that we have put in here, as you see, we put in parentheses here, the brackets, agency name. So that's obviously for you to erase that and put your agency name in there. And then with these texts that we have hashtag Head Start Pride at the end of every single post for Head Start Pride Toolkit. But there are different hashtags in the different toolkits as well. So like for Head Start and Early Head Start, we've used the hashtag Head Start Helps, Head Start Works, and things like that. So, I don't want to get too detailed with this. I kind of just wanted to overview it for you. But, the beautiful thing about this is you can utilize this however you work best. So if you want to download and save it, I might sneeze in a minute. If you want to copy paste the text, if you want to post directly right then and there and just call it a day, you can do that, or you can save it all and do it later. Because, we at Sparkspace, when we're doing social media for various clients and things like that, we actually use a social media software. So we use Sprout Social, and there's other ones like Hootsuite and Loomly, Agorapulse, like some of those you might have heard of. And so I am more inclined, if I'm using a toolkit, to download the image, copy the content and save it somewhere. And then later when I'm scheduling for a whole week out, I put it in Sprout Social. But this is designed to make it quick and easy for you if you want to, go right then and there. The thing is with that, you will have to do it 3 times because you have Facebook, you have Twitter, and it literally just like kind of lets you tweet. You have to authorize your Twitter account, which is fine. You just need your login and password, but you can tweet directly from the toolkit. We have made the Twitter posts to fit within the character constraints of Twitter, so you don't have to worry about editing it or making the words, cutting some of the words, because these are all compliant with Twitter's character limits. And then same with Instagram. If you click download, it's more similar to the Facebook situation, but basically there's an Instagram asset, and then you can email it to yourself for later. A lot of people do Instagram directly from their mobile device, and then you can post directly if you want to. So it gives you options. It's pretty easy to navigate, and we just think it's going to be really helpful because, you've got beautiful graphics for each of these toolkits and plenty of, good content in the post, but you can also customize it to your own agency. So, if you don't want to say an early childhood educator and you want to say a preschool teacher, you can change that. Whatever your language is that you use, whatever message you want to send, you are more than welcome to change it. You don't have to use it directly the way that we are. So this will be ready today or tomorrow. So those people who have subscribed to it, Fernando is going to send out the magic links so you can get started using it. And I will definitely have my email address on there. So if you have any questions, if something's not working right, you are more than welcome to reach out to me and ask me about that. Another part of the offerings that we're doing is this content calendar. So if we go back to this, you can see right here, the social media calendar subscription. Again, Fernando, I think, is sending that out today or has already. It's basically an opportunity for you to get some ideas of some like kind of filler content that you can post. And we have put in these little buttons here so you can click to download the actual image. So again, it'll be click to download, then right click, and you save it just like you would any other kind of image that you would save. And then you can literally use this for content if you want, or use it as notes and make your own content. But we kind of have the dates over here. Like Korean American Day is next Thursday. So if you want to commemorate that, maybe you have some local notable people that are Korean American that you'd like to showcase, or maybe you have some teachers at your agency that are Korean American that you'd like to focus on and say, you know, she is a 12-year veteran of Head Start, and you know, we salute her today, or we, you know, we honor her today on Korean American Day. We're happy she's on our team. Like however you want to do it. Maybe you have people send in pictures of their pets for National Dress Up Your Pet Day. You know, there's lots of different ideas you can do. We've got Martin Luther King Jr. Day coming up, obviously. And again, you know, you don't have to use the images that we have provided. You could use an actual photo of him. A lot of people do that. There's a couple different pictures that float around every year that are just very, you know, great pictures of him. It's like a silhouette kind of his face. But there's also videos of his speeches. So depending on how far you want to go with that, you can post that. But here's just, you know, we're offering this as something that you can do. Also a reminder, you know, for your calendar and everything as well. So, so again, some of these are more serious than others, but we just kind of want to provide something that you can do that we think would be interesting to some of your followers. It's not a recruitment campaign. It's more just for fun, more for filler on your social media. If you just have no idea what to post that day, some ideas like that. So we'll have those every month for the calendar. And that's a separate subscription. And then
Melissa?
Yes.
May I interrupt you for just one quick second?
Absolutely.
We have a question in the chat from Joseph. He asks, do you have multilingual copies for the calendar templates?
We do not. That is definitely something we can do. That is a great question. Erin, I don't know if you want to speak to that a little bit. I mean, I would think we can do that, right? We just need to get
oh yeah, for sure. It's yeah, Ed and I had talked about that initially, and I think I'm not sure why we didn't do it, because I know that there's a lot of multilingual or, you know, multiple languages in California. So we can certainly do that. We have translation companies on speed dial.
Yeah,
we can absolutely provide that.
So yeah, that's definitely something we can do. So if we want to move forward with that, we can look into it and get you that. We can put different languages on the graphics and the post text. So we can certainly look into that. Really quick before Julie has to hop off, does anybody have any questions for Julie? Or Julie, did you have anything you wanted to add? I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss the opportunity.
Yeah, I am going to have to hop off. No, just excited to see the new materials and really happy that you guys have this partnership. And I know you'll all be as happy and pleased to work with Spark as we've been in Ohio. So we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Julie.
Thanks, Julie.
So we've gone over the sessions briefly. I can kind of dig into those a little bit more if you guys would like. The calendar subscription and the toolkits. The fourth element is the coaching, one-on-one coaching. And again, you know, I kind of rattled off some random examples before, but really that is for, you know, if you are, you know, if you have a need or you don't even know what your need might be, and you want to collaborate a little bit and brainstorm and kind of get out of your head a little bit, maybe see, you know, have somebody look at some of your stuff with fresh eyes. That's the opportunity that we're offering, is to spend some time with you solo so that we can talk through it and we can help you. It may just be that one phone call that we do with you to do a big brainstorming session, or to teach you how to best utilize, you know, some of the elements that we're offering, but, you know, kind of a one-on-one like tutor situation. Or we may grow into a long-term relationship with you. Like, it just kind of depends on what your needs are. I had mentioned earlier, like annual reports. I don't know how many of you all produce an annual report every year if you have somebody that you work with that does that for you. But Erin is a pro at annual reports, and we have a few that we've designed this year that I mean, I'm blown away. I don't have anything to do with them. Our designers and Erin work on those. And I do see your question about the cost. I will get to that in just a minute. Yes, I will share that again. But that's just one element we could do. We have been the go-between, and we've ordered and designed billboards for centers that we work with. We are currently working on a mascot for one of our clients, and I'm ordering literally a mascot that is dressed like a superhero. It's a panda. It's adorable. We've done standees for the panda. We've done promotional items. We can facilitate that for you. So some of you may already have a marketing plan in place. You may have partners with that. You may already know everything you need to know, and you don't need us, and that's fine. But we are more than happy to, help in any way we can, I guess is the best way to say that. So consider that, with the coaching and everything. So there was a question about the pricing, and it is on the website. So I'm going to click my screen again here. So for the whole bundle, for the 6 60-minute training sessions, the calendar subscription, and the toolkits, you have the pricing here. And Fernando, I don't know if you or Alejandra, if you want to talk about the difference between member and non-member, or if you have any things to add to the costs or anything as far as comments, but it's all laid out right here for you. So you can do just the calendar subscription if you want, and that's the cost. If you want to do just the toolkits, that's the cost. Just the training, that's the cost, but you save some money if you do the bundle. And then the coaching is completely separate from that, because that's that's not part of the offerings of the bundle, but that's something separate. So we also are kind of in the middle of early bird pricing. We kind of toyed with different language besides using early bird, but that's what everybody knows. So by the end of this week, these are the prices, and they potentially could go up after that. So I don't know yet if that's been decided, but yeah, so I hope that answered the question that we had about pricing. And Fernando also put it in the chat in the link. So if that is something anybody has any other questions about, we'd be happy to answer those. So does anybody have any questions at this point? I've kind of blasted through the offerings. Does anybody have any specific questions, or even questions we can answer that I've always been trying to do this and I can't get it to work. What can I do? I mean, we can talk about that right now if you want to. If it's something quick and easy, we can talk about it.
I guess I would be interested too to know what the experience level with social media is in the room. If if you guys do it yourselves, or if you're the supervisor of someone in charge of your social media accounts.
Yeah, I'm interested in that as well. Some of you we sent out a survey like in November, I believe. Thank you, Joseph, for that. Asking people to put, kind of to gauge their level of expertise, I guess, like how often do you post and what is your social media address? And like nobody put the address in the survey. So it made me wonder if you didn't know it or just didn't have time to copy paste it. I was just curious. I also, to piggyback on that question, Erin, I am curious to know what aspect of the offerings is most appealing to everyone. Is anybody super, super excited about the toolkits so they don't have to come up with content on their own? Is anybody really, really excited about taking those training courses and becoming like, really, really, really good at all aspects of social media. You can be a social media expert in just 6 short hours. I'm just
Joseph
curious.
likes that idea.
Yes, thank you. I like that. Okay, so for the HR and ERSEA departments, are the things that we're offering in the toolkits, is that like the child and family recruitment and enrollment, is that something maybe that is good content for you guys? I mean, I guess, you know, I believe that the people that have guided us to this point have gotten us the good, you know, we've created good content based on the conversations we've had, but does it look like we're missing any content in the toolkits? We've got recruitment for families, recruitment for employment, then of course the Head Start Pride, which I love the idea of the Head Start Pride because it can kind of just be a blanket thing. It's like Head Start's awesome and here's why, but it could also be used for child enrollment or employee recruitment or, you know, whatever it may be. So there's a lot to offer in that. It's almost like a wild card category. So thank you, Mona. And I've seen some of the other comments. So it does sound like we've hit on the right content, which is great. And we're excited for you guys to start using it. So
I wanted to add something about the training sessions too, which is those are really hands-on. So we would want all of you to bring questions. You know, some of the questions, it's something that you might have been struggling with for a while, and Mel's been there and done that, and she's figured it out, and she loves to just chew through a problem with the participants. And it's, you know, at the end of it, you're just like, oh my gosh, it's so much easier than I thought it could be. And she
there
really
are lots
takes
of like virtual high fives when something
yeah, she takes the mystery out of it. And I would hope that if you sign up, you please utilize her and bring questions. And, you know, if something doesn't get tackled during the session, you're always welcome to reach out to her directly if you have a question that didn't get answered, or if there wasn't time to get to it or whatever. We're not going to leave you hanging.
Yeah, definitely. And I mentioned this to Fernando yesterday during our meeting that, you know, if we have a training session and like what Aaron's mentioning, like if something comes up and there's kind of a deeper conversation that needs to be had about it, I'm happy to just talk through that with you on a Zoom call, on the phone, via email, and to solve like one singular problem that's going to help you get set the way you need to be set up, where it's not going to be a consultant fee and all that kind of stuff. Like I can just have a 20-minute phone call with you and you don't have to worry about, oh, is that part of the coaching? Is that, you know, all that kind of stuff. Because if it's one little area that you need help with, but it's going to set you up for success, you know, and we spend 20 minutes on it, that's fine. I mean, that's completely why we're here, is to help you guys move forward and literally, like it says, elevate your social media presence. So, so we want to help you out. That's kind of what Aaron's saying. So it's not as daunting as it may seem. It's funny to me because I went to college way before social media hit the scene. And I have literally learned it in my jobs that I've had. And it's not anything you need, you know, a diploma for. I mean, I have a marketing and PR degree. I'm just saying social media specifically came about well into my career path.
Well, it changes so fast. Like if you have a degree,
exactly.
it's been reinvented by now.
Yeah, I mean, this is stuff that you can't just go sit in a college classroom and just, I mean, you can learn the basics, but this is something that, this is why we wanted to do this, because there are things that are, you know, like one of the sessions, we're going to be talking about QR codes. So QR codes were huge, like in the early 2000s, people were using QR codes like crazy. And then they kind of like went dormant for a while, and they're kind of back now, which, you know, I still find kind of interesting because I'm not the biggest fan of QR codes, but they are very handy and easy to use. And especially now, if you have a smartphone, you can literally just open your camera and use, and you don't have to download. Like I have like 4 different apps that I, you know, have deleted from my phone over the years of, it's a QR code reader app, but you don't need that anymore because phones now, if you have a smartphone, you literally just open your camera. And I mean, I was in, that's okay. Thank you, Mona. That's good. And you're right. Right now, QR codes are very well received because they're quick and easy. And I was in the line in the drive-through for, I'm that girl for Starbucks. Okay. I'm just going to be you. I love supporting my local places, but sometimes I just need to drive through and I can't walk in and do it all. But there's a huge QR code on a chalkboard, and they're hiring. So it's like, you know, but I use my app to pay for my Starbucks. So my phone is open, and it like almost did it without me even pointing to it. It just like went there. And I was just like, okay, so QR codes are super easy nowadays. And
they're a great way to engage with your families too, or to know that it's a feedback point. So if you have a QR code on your materials and you ask them to, one of our clients, we do a lot of things for preschool kids. And so the families get really involved, and, you know, they want to share their photos on social media, and they want to, you know, just extend the project or the learning or the activity. And so there's a lot that we use QR codes for, to know how the materials are being received, and if families are really doing the activities, and if, you know, how things are kind of playing out.
So if I can ask, Mona, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you mentioned that you use the QR codes for your recruitment for children. Do you use those on print materials? Do you use them on digital pieces? All of the above? I'm just curious what seems to work best for you guys, if you're still able to answer. And if Mona is there and answering, then okay, so she's mentioning it already. So that's great. Print materials and social media. So see, it's really good. And I love seeing that, because it really is something that's easy and very, very, very cost effective, and you can use it quickly and easily, and takes people directly where you want them to go. So that's really good. Does anybody have any questions or comments again about anything we've talked about?
Yeah, I think we should maybe wrap up early. I feel like it's QVC and we don't need to like extend the.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
People don't, you know, you should know by now how you're feeling about jumping in the boat with us.
Agreed. Yeah. So, thank you very much thanks, Mona. That's awesome. And I'm excited that you guys are excited. I hope that this really helps, and I hope that it's worth your time. And, you know,
we're going to make sure it's worth your time, I think, is the important.
Right. Definitely. But we're definitely here to help. And, even if before the 11th, if anybody has any random questions, like, you know, please let me know. So, thank you very much. Thanks for all the comments and for the interaction. We appreciate that always. And keep that in mind as we do these sessions. Like Erin mentioned this already, but the most successful and most enjoyable hour spent is when you guys are giving us engagement. So yeah, I'm very conversational when I kind of teach these. And I just really, I want feedback. I want to know what's worked. If there's something that was a huge disaster and it didn't work, let's talk about that too, because we can talk about why it didn't work and maybe, you know, what to try next time, or laugh about it, you know. So sometimes you have to. But my point is, you know, don't be afraid to chime in during the sessions if you're going to be on the sessions, because you know, you may even hear me say something that you're like, I'm going to question you on it, like challenge me. I mean, I'm not like coming at you. I'm just saying, you know, if there's something that I say that you don't think is accurate, question me and let's figure it out together. Because I want everybody to have the right knowledge and, you know, the correct information and everything. The truth is with anything with social media, there are about 6 ways to do everything. So, you know, we just want to get you doing it the best way that is going to be the easiest and shortest amount of time possible for you to spend. So, and we're very happy that you took the time to hang out with us today too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just sorry we didn't get to see your faces.
I know.
Well, excellent. As we wrap up, just a few reminders for everybody. I know we're starting to lose some folks, but for anybody who joined in this session a little later, we recorded the session. We'll clean it up and then we'll send it back out so you can share it with your peers. We'll also post it on our website so you can revisit some of this great information that Aaron, Melissa, and Julie shared with us today. Also, just to piggyback off of just let us know if you have any questions. I'll put in my contact information in the chat box for you. So feel free to send me an email with any questions regarding registration. If you have questions about the offerings, each components of the offerings, I'm happy to elaborate on those and make sure that you're completely aware of what is that we're offering in partnership with SparkSpace. So just let us know how we can be of service and answer any questions for you. And lastly, I shared the link to the overview page of this offering in the chat a few times. So feel free to check that out, view some of the information we have listed there. And more importantly, this 6-week training registration, we're trying to close that out this week since the first training begins next week. So if you have not registered yet to attend the trainings and you're interested in attending, make sure you submit your registration this week so you are all good to go for session number 1 next week. And again, if you have any questions about that, send me an email. I can also connect you with Melissa and just support you any way we can. I just wanted to thank again our friends at SparkSpace Creative, Melissa and Aaron, and of course, Julie, our special guest. Thank you so much. Alejandra, any closing words you want to share with folks before we wrap up?
No, I think you covered everything, Fernando. Thank you.
Well, thanks everybody. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and we'll hopefully see you on session 1 of the training next week. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.